It already seems to be resolved, and we're all kind of rightfully antsy about such things because we've had now 3 attempts on Donald Trump's life, President Trump's life, that are a little closer than we would all prefer, I think. And in this one, the guy that got shot, the way they describe this is at the intersection of Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest and 17th Street Northwest. Now, that is the corner, the top left corner. Like if you're looking at it on Google Maps, it's the top left corner. So the north and the west corner of what you would consider the rectangle that is the White House grounds. Now, the White House has a couple of buffers above it and below it in the form of Lafayette Square, and then there's the ellipse below it. And then on the east and west side, there are office buildings. So what you have here is it wasn't even on the inner rectangle of where the White House itself is. It was actually on the outside of that in what they call the Eisenhower Executive Office Building. So that's what is on the west side of the White House. And I don't mean the one that's connected by the hallway, where the Oval Office is. I'm not talking about the West Wing. I'm talking about that separate building, the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, where a bunch of congressmen and whatnot are. So if you go north of that, at the north entrance of that building is, from what I understand of this, that's where the press congregates, because the White House press room is over there, and they have the setup. Putnam was telling us about this from Dallas Express, on where they all congregate and they kind of hang out. And if you vape or smoke cigarettes, that's kind of where you have to meander off to, because God forbid if you're in the building or near an entrance or anything like that. So, the smoker's porch is kind of across, but also right across the street from that is the Blair House. Blair House has a lot of history to it, but it's kind of it's always been the presidential clubhouse in recent American history. So the guy has been neutralized. I have audio here. Now there's 2 different angles I'm going to play for this. First, let me play Selena Wang. She's with ABC News. You haven't heard of her because she's the backup weekend person who never gets to make it on news. And now she gets to make it on news because she's just doing some standard old report because it's Saturday and she's got to turn it in. She's got to do something every half hour. I don't know what her schedule is. But it breaks out in the background, so I'll let you hear this first.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the 2 sides to remain far apart.
And so what the reporting looks like is those first 3 shots were from the gunman, and then the rest of the return fire was all Secret Servicemen. She was rushed inside. They checked in with her right after that. And let me get you that update, and then we'll talk to our first guest, Darren Gobb. And so this was Selena Wang. ABC News was checking in with her just a few minutes after that last soundbite I played for you.
We want to get right to the breaking news. Reports of dozens of shots fired at the White House. The Secret Service clearing the White House north lawn. News reporters rushing inside, taking shelter in the briefing room. ABC's senior White House correspondent Selena Wang was outside when this all unfolded. Selena, you are now in the briefing room, safe. What are you learning about what happened?
Yeah, well, first of all, the president is actually currently here at the White House.
So we were actually taping, getting ready for world news from the White House North Lawn, when suddenly we heard what sounded like gunshots near the White House, dozens of them. We immediately got down, then we heard yelling for us to evacuate into the White House briefing room, where we are currently holding now. So all of us, as you can see here behind me, we're all doing our live shots from the briefing room instead of outside on the North Lawn where we normally do those live shots. So we sprinted in here. We're holding on the ground. There right now is at least 1 Secret Service agent who is standing outside as we are locked down in here. We are still awaiting more information. However, I do want to just read to you, we did just get a statement on social media from the U.S. Secret Service Office of Communications. I'm just going to read this to you, just came up. It says, quote, U.S. Secret Service personnel are on the scene of an officer-involved shooting at 15th Street and Independence Avenue in Washington, D.C. One individual was shot by law enforcement. Their condition is currently unknown. Please avoid the area as emergency crews are responding. So as you can see, we are all just waiting and holding here, awaiting for further information. But for now, we are all fine.
All right. So we know the weapon was a pistol. They were specific about that. Not a long gun, not a rifle. 3 shots from the gunman. The rest of those shots you heard were the Secret Service responding. They referred to the suspect as a him, so we can glean it's a male suspect. They reported him as down. I do not know the condition of the gunman. I still don't know if he's alive or dead. And then there's been a report of a civilian struck. Coming up next, we're going to check in with a regular analyst on the James Show, Darren Gobb, when we come back. All right, we have some special reports on a Saturday night. Stay with us. I'm James Parker on 820 WBAP 93.3 FM, WBAP 570 AM, KLIF, and KSCS 96.3 FM2.
Okay, cool. We'll go to Darren as soon as we get back.
Americans will be traveling despite the high gas prices. We'll let you know how.
Sounding good.
Pumps at 6:53.
And with the official start to summer here, will anyone start celebrating our nation's upcoming major milestone? That at 8:21.
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion.
Monty Cook has your news headlines at the top and bottom of each hour. Julie DeHardy has your traffic, and Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton has your weather on the ones. Plus, Al J has the laughs.
Monday morning, 5 till 9 on WBAP's Morning News on your Texas.
It'll be 3 minutes.
News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Kroger. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Kroger stores in Dallas.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now, new users can get an extra $10 bonus on their first Kroger trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Kroger store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Kroger stores in the Dallas area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code DFW4 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Kroger. That's promo code DFW4 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code DFW4.
Offers vary by user and location. $10 bonus offer for new users only. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
We had a custom home but had only builder-grade windows. Maybe like us, you'd like to upgrade. Well, this is your moment. Hi, Brad Barton for Clarity Windows and Doors. Right now, Clarity Windows and Doors is giving you an extra $1,000 off your project. And yes, that's on top of all the other deals they're already running. But here's the key. For that extra $1,000 in savings, all you have to do is call in, schedule your free consultation, and sign up before May 31st. And you must say this code word, Patriot. That's right. Again, the code word is Patriot. That's how you unlock the extra $1,000. You'll love the Clarity family, too. Great people, AAA rated by the Better Business Bureau. You'll love your high-efficiency windows and doors, too, every day, and especially every month when the power bills due. This offer expires May 31st and is valid only on projects booked this month. Tell them Brad Barton sent you, and don't forget to say Patriot to claim an extra $1,000 in savings. Bring comfort home and keep more money in your pocket with Clarity Windows and Doors.
Bring clarity to your home. Clarity Windows and Doors.
President Trump doesn't trust backstabbing rhino Chip Roy because Chip Roy betrayed MAGA. Roy backed Liz Cheney and pushed to impeach President Trump.
President of the United States deserves universal condemnation for impeachable conduct.
Then Chip Roy helped illegal aliens avoid deportation. And Roy even supported perverts and predators by siding with Gavin Newsom and the trans lobby to push transgender surgeries for children. When we fought back, Roy told MAGA voters,
"You can kiss my ass."
MAGA Mays Middleton stood with President Trump against perverts and predators, stopped radical transgender surgeries for kids, banned men from girls' sports, kicked trans perverts out of women's restrooms, and MAGA Mays banned radical Muslim groups from buying property in Texas.
20 seconds.
Sharia law in Islamic enclaves. That's why President Trump called Mays a MAGA champion with a conservative record that is second to none. MAGA Mays Middleton for Texas Attorney General.
Political ad paid for by the Mays Middleton campaign.
Remember today, you listened to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
And we're back.
All right, we have special programming tonight. We're breaking into your regular coverage on WBAP because, well, history's in the making here. We have shots fired at the White House. It was just a little over an hour ago, and the situation, we have 20 to 30 shots fired near the White House, but the initial reporting looks like the first 3 shots came from a gunman, and the rest was security taking the gunman down. So this happened really about 5 p.m. our time, a little bit after that. 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue, if you're familiar with the area, that's the northwest corner of the White House grounds, if you include the office buildings. So we know the gun, or the reports say the gun that was used by the gunman, a pistol. So not really that serious of an attempt on the president's life. It almost looks like a suicide by cop, but it's still early. A male suspect down. I don't know the condition of the gunman. Reports of a civilian being struck. I don't have the condition of the civilian. This is how early this is. We're about 2 hours into this. And so to help break this down, someone with a little bit more of a security background, Darren Gobb, coming back on the James Show. So welcome, Darren Gobb. Is it safe to assume this is another attempt on the president's life? I mean, this doesn't sound like gang violence that just sort of spilled over into the White House. What do you think it is?
You know, going with what we know, I wouldn't even necessarily call it an attempt on the president's life. If it is, it's probably one of the worst I've ever seen. I've worked at the White House. I've worked with Secret Service in a different capacity and various other things around D.C. And if you're going to start shooting at the White House with a pistol, you're not going to do much anyways. So, I mean, I would leave this wide open right now as to his motivations, his connections, what he was really attempting to do. I mean, I could go anywhere from a desire to see suicide by cop to just trying to make noise at a time when an Iranian deal could be reached if reports are accurate, or even if they're just believed, even if they're not accurate. And up to something else, but way too early to rule anything out. Knowing the area well and the security well and how the Secret Service works, though, if you're going to shoot off on a round with a pistol, you're already in a losing situation. It doesn't matter how good you are.
Well, I mean, we could start ruling some stuff out. Like, this doesn't seem like a terror attack. This doesn't seem like a Muslim terrorism. I mean, can we even rule that out yet?
I wouldn't rule that out either. I'm not saying it's a coordinated, organized effort. It could be just a lone wolf thing. I've done a lot of work in the lone wolf terrorist world, and sometimes it's just a person who's motivated by things they hear or see, and they think they're going to make a difference by doing something like this. So I wouldn't necessarily rule that out right now either. We could sit here and talk about odds and percentages of what things are. Definitely to say it's an organized terrorist thing, I would give you a very, very low odds, but I wouldn't. I would increase those odds for just a lone wolf actor who thinks they want to become famous by lobbing some rounds at the White House and pretty much sealing their own fate.
Yeah, the only way it fits into the paradigm of Muslim terror attack is I think of the guy who shot up Austin a couple months ago. He's a lone wolf. There was no planning. It wasn't very effective. It was just some goober who was ticked about Iran and decided to squeeze off some rounds into a restaurant. So no real thought or even planning into that. So maybe that's how it fits into the Muslim terrorism paradigm. But I mean, we don't even have any reporting on the condition of the shooter's race, what he was wearing, if he was carrying a flag of some sort. So it's really just baseless speculation, I guess, at this point, Darren.
It is. Yep. Absolutely. And I guess probably what is most important is the fact that the White House, the procedures, how you deal with security incidents, regardless of motivation, has been well honed and reviewed for decades. And I'm familiar with them enough to know that they're extraordinarily effective. It's just not the place you go with one pistol expecting to lob some rounds and think you're going to win something tangible, unless you're looking for notoriety, which could be coming. We'll see. But people should know that in general, the White House grounds is extraordinarily secure. Those guys are very professional. They know very much what they're doing when it comes to securing the president and the grounds in general. That hasn't really changed, and that's important. but I would also just then push for patience for those who think they need to know right away everything going on. In the military, one thing we always said was the first report is always wrong, and you better wait a little bit because you're going to find more information, more facts that will shed some light on the subject. So give it some time is my advice to anybody.
Well, at least the good news is everyone is safe as far as, president, vice president, elected officials, Secret Service agents, cops. Looks like the only person that got hurt today was a shooter. And then we have reports of a citizen injury, but no one seems to be making much of a fuss of that. So I guess we'll report on this today. And the media has no real incentive to do a whole lot of follow up on this one. I can't wait to find out more. I hope we find out more.
Yeah, and I think you will. Sad thing is, when I lived in D.C. for a few years, one thing that you could count on was pretty much someone shooting somebody every night. And you just kind of got used to it. It's just maybe this one just happened to be close to the White House, and that's why it's news.
All right, good stuff. Darren Gobb, how do we find more of your work online?
You can find me at darrengobb.com. I got a book for sale there that I wrote, and then at Veritas Vincit on Substack, or just search my name on Substack. It's the only one that'll come up. Those are the two easiest places.
Thank you very much. There's Darren Gobb. All right, if you have any comments on shots fired at the White House, 800-288-9227. I welcome baseless speculation at this point because that's all we've got. It's a 2-hour-old story. Looks like everyone's going to be okay, but, worst case scenario sounds really bad. Best case scenario, not so bad. So we'll tell you where the details fall as they come in. Coming up next on the James Show, we'll talk to Tarleton State University political science professor, Dr. Bo Kabbalah. I'm James Parker on News Talk 820, 93.3 FM, WBAP.
Hi, it's Brad Barton. Well, summer's almost here with pool park
clear,
vacations, and May graduations and June weddings. For the confident to look your very best, come to Red Mountain Weight Loss. At Red Mountain, you'll find the latest programs and medications to help you lose weight. From GLP-1 meds to RM3, their signature medication and the fastest way to lose weight. Programs start as low as $149, and you could lose up to 20 pounds by this time next month. Lose weight and look great just in time for summer at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just go to redmountainweightloss.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Kroger.
So we're going to take Fox News for that 1 minute, and then we'll come back.
Is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Kroger stores in
Say
Dallas.
that again. We're going to flip over to Fox News when we come back. Is that what you're saying?
So I'm going to take these spot breaks to Fox News.
Their first Kroger trip with the app.
Do I throw to Fox News? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'll have it go to Fox News where they do their 1 minute update at 30:30, and then at 31:30 we'll come back.
Nachos.
Upside is now available for Kroger stores in the Dallas area. Download the free Upside app.
That'll give me time to call Bo, and I can make up some of these spots.
Purchase at Kroger. That's promo code DFW4 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code DFW4.
Offers vary by user and location. $10 bonus offer for new users only. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
At Genesis of Plano, part of the Huff-Hines Auto family, we're committed to doing things the right way. With clear, upfront pricing, no unwanted dealer addendums, and over 100 years serving North Texas. Our vehicles are engineered to inspire exploration, pushing the boundaries of what luxury can be. And our dealership delivers an experience defined by comfort, intention, and elevated detail. Visit Genesis of Plano today and discover a higher standard of luxury, totally on your terms.
Buying a new car has never been more confusing. That's why you need the Car Pro Show. Veteran car dealer, automotive writer for Dallas Express, and Texas Radio Hall of Famer Jerry Reynolds gives you 2 hours of straight talk and honest answers about everything automotive. He'll walk you through the best way to get a great deal and save money with the best car dealers in North Texas. The Car Pro Show, Saturdays 9 to 11 on WBAP, the common sense show for car buyers.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate has always made selling your home easy, and we've updated our program to keep the most money in your pocket. First, we give you a guaranteed cash offer on your home, and you receive the cash up front immediately. We then set your list price, we put it on the market, and if we sell it for more than we gave you up front, we'll give you the difference back in cash. It's absolutely no risk to you, only upside. Why would you do business with anybody else? It's the absolute best way to sell your home in today's market.
Most home sellers get one offer, and it's never enough. Well, Orchard changes that. Monty Cook here. With Orchard offers, you don't get one offer, you get multiple cash offers from serious investors, all competing for your home. Here's how it works. An Orchard agent submits your home to their exclusive network of local cash buyers. They compete to buy your home, and you choose the winner. No repairs, no showings, no settling. Get started with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Tune into the Financial Hour presented by DeWitt and Dunn Financial Services, Sundays at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. here on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Your host, Kathy DeWitt Dunn, has the most up-to-date info you need for your financial success.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQBar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. That's radio to 64,000.
Are your allergies driving you crazy this spring? Well, your air conditioner could be part of the problem. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. And right now in North Texas, pollen and dust levels are through the roof. And without the right air filtration, all of that pollen ends up moving through your home and into the air you breathe. And that's why during our Spring Clean Air event, when you install a qualifying high-efficiency system, Reliant Air Conditioning will include a complete clean air package for free. And that includes a UV light, an air scrubber, and a hospital-grade air filtration system. That's a $3,750 value, included at no additional cost. And during our Spring Clean Air event, you can also save with manufacturer rebates and special financing. So call us at 877-YOUR-HERO.
All right, James, I've got Dr. Bo standing by. So I told him we'll get to him as soon as we're done with Fox News.
All right, deal.
Depend on DFW's largest radio news team to keep you connected.
News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This is a Fox News alert. Shots fired near the White House. I'm Carmen Roberts. A gunman opened fire near the White House this evening, causing it to be put on lockdown for about 90 minutes. An official says that the attacker shot at Secret Service agents who returned fire, hitting the person who then was taken to the hospital and later died. A civilian bystander was also shot and is in critical condition. Fox's Chad Pergram in D.C. says officials believe they have neutralized the threat.
But they are indicating that, they thought that this was the only threat. This wasn't a wave of something going on or a coordinated attack with multiple gunmen or potential perpetrators here.
President Trump was there during the shooting. He's been working on a peace deal to end the war with Iran. The gunman, though, never made it onto the White House grounds. A motive is still unknown. America's listening to Fox News.
For WBAP, I'm WFAA meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Could see a shower or thunderstorm tonight. The chance remains very low with a 67-degree low. 83 on Sunday with a pop-up shower or storm possible. Most will be dry. Most will also be dry on Memorial Day. with a slight chance for a shower or storm with a high of 84.
News and talk are in our name.
Keep connected, DFW.
Your Texas voice for common sense.
News Talk 820.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are back.
Welcome. You're listening to special coverage. Shots fired at the White House. It's 820 WBAP 93.3 FM WBAP 570 AM KLIF KSCS 96.3 FM HD2. And so it started out with a gunman approached the northwest corner of the White House grounds right outside the Eisenhower office building. He did not even make it onto the White House grounds. The reports are 3 shots fired. Returning fire from the Secret Service made this a very short endeavor. And it looks like the suspect is down. No word on his condition. And reports of an innocent bystander took a bullet. No report on their condition. So to help us break this down in real time, Dr. Bo Kabbalah is coming back on from Tarleton State University. And thanks for coming on such short notice on a holiday weekend. I think we really owe you a favor here. Maybe we can get you a WBAP koozie or something. But
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be with you.
Yeah. So does this count as another attempt on Donald Trump's life? Because that would be what, 4 now?
You know, it's been a number. And so when you see that a male suspect has been shot and killed by the U.S. Secret Service after opening fire, I mean, this is cause for concern. It's a pattern. And I think we have to ask, where is this coming from? What are some of the narratives that are shaping people's sense of, this is an appropriate response? I mean, it's staggering, and it's, I think, a systemic problem that needs to be addressed.
Well, are we getting ahead of ourselves? I don't know what else the explanation on this could be, but maybe it's not another attempt on the president's life.
Well, we should withhold judgment. I think it's true that, deliberation and caution is in order, but just comparing this president to other chief executives, you just consider the number of narratives that have been put out there about him. And, all violence of this kind needs to be condemned. I think at some point we ask the question, is it random or is it fueled by certain kinds of narratives? And do we need to take a long, hard look at where those narratives are coming from? I think we may be getting closer to that kind of moment.
Well, what do you think? Does this feel random to you?
Again, I think caution is in order, but just in terms of, a number of you look at Thomas Crooks, you look at just, there was the gentleman in New Jersey. Is it fair to say that this is motivated by political opposition to the president, and that today in 2026, in the early 21st century, more of this kind of justification of violence, is coming from the progressive end of the spectrum? I think that's a fair factual statement today. And so in a bipartisan spirit, we still want to address that, condemn all violence, political violence, wherever it occurs. But this may be the particular situation that we're dealing with.
Well, if it's not someone who is of the political opposition here, could it be someone who's upset about the Iranian war? And, I think about the guy that shot up Austin. It didn't take a whole lot of planning. It wasn't very effective, but it was one guy who was just incensed enough to go out and spray some bullets. And maybe that meets the metric of what happened here.
Well, and certainly gas prices, affordability, these are issues that are weighing heavily on Americans' minds. That's no justification to resort to violence ever. But that's where, to strike a hopeful note, it appears that Iran and the U.S. ready to sign a memorandum of understanding, 15 points that would make tremendous progress around the issues of contention that have separated the U.S. from Iran. It appears to me, based on the latest reports that I've heard, we're kind of going to, kick the nuclear enrichment can down the road 30 to 60 days while directly resolving the opening of the Strait of Hormuz issue and Iranian support for regional proxy. So if President Trump can pull this off this weekend, what an accomplishment for the global economy and world peace.
Okay, I have an update here. We're talking with Dr. Bo Kabbalah from Tarleton State University. Secret Service spokesman has confirmed to Fox News that the shooter is now dead. The shooter no longer with us, but the suspect, the identity still not released on the suspect, is now confirmed to be dead in a report from the Secret Service to Fox News. So now the only other question mark is the bystander that was also struck by gunfire. It remains that their condition is unknown, and we don't even know on this bystander. Have you heard, Dr. Bo, if it was the gunfire from the Secret Service or the gunfire from the gunman who was on the prowl? I mean, that's still a big...
My sources haven't spoken directly to the bystander, but I'll tell you what it does make me think of: Abraham Lincoln's Lyceum address, a very early speech by the 16th president, speaking directly to the threat that political violence across the political spectrum posing to political institutions. And Abraham Lincoln, in that early address, not partisan, not saying it's north or south, but saying, when we've come to the point where we think political violence is an answer to our problems, we need to rededicate ourselves to the rule of law. We need to pull back from that abyss. So, maybe this is totally random. Maybe it's unrelated to politics. Certainly the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter appears to have been motivated by politics. So whatever the case may be, I think we all need to recommit to just renouncing political violence, recommitting ourselves to the rule of law.
Well, the only other update we've had since we've started with the special programming tonight is that White House Communications Director Stephen Chang said at 7:00 our time that President Trump is working again at the White House. He's in the Oval Office working. Can't stop, won't stop was what he wrote on X. Now this is something that we were kind of watching the White House this weekend, expecting an Iranian deal. He was supposed to go to Don Jr.'s wedding, and he actually has to miss that. And we assume it's because he's working out this deal. So apparently, this guy's working on something that's really important to him.
Absolutely. And you saw the motorcade. You saw those weekend plans being changed. Remarkable developments, it seems like, given how much pain on the global economy has been inflicted by this conflict, and really the amount of pain going back to 1979 that the global community has dealt with in trying to contain the Iranian threat. So this would be really monumental if the U.S. and Iran are reaching a memorandum of understanding mediated by Pakistan that's more stringent than the President Obama peace deal, which actually allowed for some nuclear enrichment. This memorandum of understanding would not allow for any enrichment, although it would defer resolution of that issue. If that's what is actually happening this weekend, then I think it is. These are momentous developments.
Well, yeah, because something's momentous because he's missing his own son, albeit, what is it? Isn't this his second wedding? It's not even his parents' wedding. Does that even count? But he's missing his kid's wedding, and there were shots fired. He probably heard the shots. That's how close he was to them. And he didn't take a break or, go get a buffet at Golden Corral. He's just staying at work, and this is a Saturday. This is a Memorial Day weekend, so something important's going on.
In fairness, I think President Biden would get that ice cream. So just kidding. Presidents take different kinds of breaks, but we probably want to avoid the correlation versus causation trap. There's a lot going on in Washington, D.C. It's an unsettled time. But yes, it does appear, this has been confirmed from Iranian sources as well, there's real progress moving towards a memorandum of understanding, and what a relief that would be this long weekend. What a tremendous boost, to the global economy and everybody's sense of peace and stability.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on. Go back and get back to enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. Dr. Bo Kabbalah of Tarleton State University. Appreciate it, sir. Good stuff.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to connect with you. Appreciate it.
All right. So if you're just joining us, we are doing some special programming. Hey, this is live on a Saturday night here. We're breaking into both WBAP and our news partner, KLIF, our sister station down the hall. There's shots fired at the White House at about 5:00 our time, Texas time. And we just got reports that the gunman is dead. Secret Service had responded with what sounds to be 20, maybe 30 shots. There was a lot in there. We'll review the audio that we have from another angle coming up next. But if you have any ideas about who this was, what this was about, lessons that we need to be learning from this, 800-288-9227. We will continue with special reporting on shots fired at the White House. 8:20 a.m., 93.3 FM WBAP, 570 a.m., 96.3 FM HD2, KLIF.
Clear.
Memorial Day weekend is here, and lots of Americans will be.
Okay, 3.5 minute here, and then for the final one, James, you can go till 56:50.
At 8:21.
Okay.
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion.
And then you want me on from 8 to 9?
At the top and bottom.
Yeah, Bruce says 8 to 9, then we'll be done.
Meteorologist Brad Barton has your
All
weather
right.
on the ones.
This is fun.
Monday morning, 5 till 9 on
Yeah, it's
WBAP's Morning News.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go hit the head.
News
calling.
20 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
Hi, it's Brad Barton. Well, summer's almost here with pool parties and beach vacations and May graduations and June weddings. For the confident to look your very best, come to Red Mountain Weight Loss. At Red Mountain, you'll find the latest programs and medications to help you lose weight. From GLP-1 meds to RM3, their signature medication and the fastest way to lose weight. Programs start as low as $149, and you could lose up to 20 pounds by this time next month. Lose weight and look great just in time for summer at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just go to redmountainweightloss.com.
Are your allergies driving you crazy this spring? Well, your air conditioner could be part of the problem. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. And right now in North Texas, pollen and dust levels are through the roof. And without the right air filtration, all of that pollen ends up moving through your home and into the air you breathe. And that's why during our spring clean air event, when you install a qualifying high-efficiency system, Reliant Air Conditioning will include a complete clean air package for free. And that includes a UV light, an air scrubber, and a hospital-grade air filtration system. That's a $3,750 value, included at no additional cost. And during our spring clean air event, you can also save with manufacturer rebates and special financing. So call us at 877-YOUR-HERO or schedule your free estimate online at ReliantAirConditioning.com and see how we've been gimmick-free since '83.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth, and St. Louis.
Hey, this is Brad Barton. When you sell your home, you need more than promises. You need a team with the process, marketing, and experience to help you make the right move. That's why I recommend Dan Harker and Empower Home Team with Keller Williams. Their strategy is built to create buyer demand, attract multiple offers, and give sellers the confidence.
Well, I'll see if anybody calls.
For them. The recent client, Brenda, said the team made a
No
sale
one's
of her
calling.
home
No one's
smooth from start to
listening.
finish. The
It's
professional
Saturday
photos and
night
marketing
on
were
damn
outstanding.
Memorial Day.
Communication was clear, and
It's me, you, and Bruce.
And Jackson in the other room running the board for Cliff.
Poor bastard.
And Brenda
Sorry,
spent
Jackson.
nearly 10 years in real estate herself, so her expectation.
Yeah, because the only people that have called have been like, where's Chris Plant? Where's Chris Plant?
And have the right team guiding you.
And I've had to say, when we do breaking news like this, we use the James Show because it's a lot more fun.
Because I'm
Call now
free.
844-672-SOLD. That's 844.
Well, we're all free. I mean, it's a free country.
.com.
All right, here we go. Coming back in 10 seconds.
From the Airco AC
very
Heating and
motivating.
Plumbing
Very.
Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
And we're back.
You're listening to special coverage. I'm James Parker on News Talk 820, 93.3 FM WBAP, 570 AM, 96.3 FM2 KLIF. And today's special occasion, shots fired at the White House. It's not a fun occasion, but there is good news that the guy who did the shooting is no longer with us. He fired what is reported, and again, I can't stress this enough. This happened 2.5 hours ago. This is very early, and early reporting details tend to be pretty elastic after we have a little more time to digest the event. But in this one, the reports are the guys at the northwest corner of the White House grounds by the Eisenhower building. shows up with the pistol, gets 3 shots off. The Secret Service responds, puts him down. For a while there, we had no report on his condition, but they just confirmed within the hour that he is dead. There's also a bystander with an injury. We don't even know if the bullets are from the Secret Service or from the gunman. So we're awaiting, hopefully, good news on that. Now, the other angle, I played you earlier, the lady from ABC News that was out there doing a stand-up. Her name's Selena Wang. What they call them stand-ups in the TV business. Well, there's another one from a outfit you've never heard of, Fatux News. I don't even know. Maybe they're from Turkmenistan. I don't know where they're from. But they were what looks like on the side of the White House. So they couldn't have been more than 100 yards from where the shooting happened. But it happened in the background. And you hear the guy sort of trailing off during his report because he hears some bang, bang. And when you hear bang, bang, that could have been someone dropping a big, heavy book on a tile floor. It could have been a car backfiring. But when it keeps repeating like that, it starts to sound like gunshots, and you can hear his head processing it. Well, the other thing that they did that ABC News didn't did is they just let their cameras rolling, and they didn't cuss any. So I can pull all this audio for you and let you hear what it sounded like in time. Because, look, you can be your own little investigator here, your own little private detective. And how many shots do you think were in retaliation? Because the narrative that we have so far is 3 shots from the gunman, and all the rest of this is return fire. So you will hear 3 distinct shots before a volley of fire that sounds more like a Call of Duty game than something that happens just regularly on a Saturday evening on the White House lawn. So this is Fatux News.
Memorial Day since 2022. President Trump promises the prices will go down, but his grip on Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
Okay, so now we're 20 seconds into it, and all the gunshots have stopped. Nothing's going to happen for a second, but then you're going to hear some guys. You'll see some guys run around the White House, like uniform guys, and they tell everybody either get inside if you're press. They get you into the press room. You hear them? Yeah, so they're telling press people to get into the press room. The rest of y'all get out of here. You hear this guy. Another guy's about to run by. There's uniform guys running by. There's about 6 of them in the shot now. Get inside, get inside. You hear that? Yeah, so thank you to the guys that... Yeah, there's the cops yelling at them. Everybody move. Everybody up. Everybody move. So they're doing personnel control there, but that was Fatux News. So the whole shooting incident, you heard that. It was 20 seconds. Not even that. From the first shot to the end of the shooting, maybe 15 seconds. Look, let's listen to the first 20 seconds again when the guy's doing his report. Let's see how long from the first shot to where it ends. Because we talk about these things like they're big, momentous events in history, and they are powerful and important. But, I mean, it's all about 15 seconds here.
Memorial Day since 2022. President Trump promises the prices will go down, but his grip on Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
And then that was it. Okay, wow. Okay, so that was 6 seconds into that sound clip was the first gunshot. And the last one was at about 21 seconds. So we're talking about exactly 15 seconds worth of action. Well, that blows your mind. Some guy just lost his life in that soundbite. And, as much as I have to do this over and over and over as my career for a talk radio show host, it's still kind of, it still feels grave. The term gravitas. It sounds almost heavy that you just heard a guy lose his life. Some crazy. There's going to be an explanation, or there's going to be an excuse. Like, why did he do it? Oh, he was upset about our policy in Iran, or he was just a psychopath that was trying to take some people out on his way out, or he was maybe politically motivated. There will be an explanation, but it won't be an excuse. Whatever just happened today, just And you heard it there. How many gunshots was that? Because I saw some people saying online, oh, it was like 100 gunshots. No, it wasn't 100. You can go ahead and calm down with that. But that is kind of close to the White House. Donald Trump was at the White House. He's actually working on a Saturday. He's not out getting chocolate chip ice cream at the ice cream stand on some beach in Delaware. We were actually keeping an eye on things because we were expecting perhaps the announcement of an Iranian deal. We have been told, now listen, I understand the skepticism. We've been told before that an Iranian deal is imminent. However, we had a few things of confluence here that made us think a deal was about to be announced. There's been people who are telling media outlets that we are having negotiations with them now. Things are advancing. Some points have been agreed to. So this has been a small trickle. But again, we're all kind of burned. We've heard this before. We were told this is going to be, 6 to 8 weeks. And now we're almost 3 months into this. And so, patience is running thin. But the couple things that stack up. Number one, Donald Trump is supposed to be with his son right now at Don Jr.'s wedding, and he's not. And a lot of people notice that, and rightfully so. Are you going to miss your son's wedding for light and transient causes, or is something big about to go down? And then on top of that, it is Memorial Day weekend on the 250th anniversary of America, and you are at the Oval Office burning the midnight oil, or the 753 oil. I guess it's 853 there. But yeah, here's Trump. Trump was asked about missing Junior's wedding, and you got to think, well, this must be pretty important.
Meantime, with all of this taking place, the president was supposed to travel to his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Those plans changed yesterday. The president's son is also holding wedding celebrations in the Bahamas today. The president, of course, not able to attend, given that he's holding these meetings today. He did congratulate him, but said because of all of these conflicts, especially citing the war in Iran, that he would not be able to attend.
Wow. Also, they actually have been ramping up the rhetoric about the Iran deal being imminent. There have been things that have been agreed to. Again, I share skepticism. You probably are a little skeptical too. Didn't we hear this like 2 months ago? And then didn't we hear this about a month and a half ago? And then didn't we hear this about a month ago? And didn't we hear this about 2 weeks ago? Well, he's skipping his son's wedding. He had a backup plan of playing golf. He's skipping that too. There were shots fired at the White House. He is still there working, not taking off. He's not going to go get a sandwich at Schlotsky's or anything. So he's working on something important is the deal. So Alex Hogan had a nice little breakdown here of the Trump-Iran deal and why the optimism is starting to look a little bit brighter.
President Trump, as you mentioned, telling Axios that he would hold a meeting with negotiators today to go over this latest deal with Iran. And one regional diplomat telling Fox News' Trey Yingst in the Middle East, quote, regional leaders were supportive of the progress and of the breakthroughs that President Trump achieved in these talks. We also heard the president say that it was 50-50 whether or not there would be a deal reached and that a decision would be made by tomorrow as of whether or not strikes would resume in Iran.
All right. So a lot of people have focused on that 50-50 if you've been watching the news over the weekend, which you shouldn't be. You should be checking out. As soon as we get done with this special report, I want you to go back to your Memorial Day vacation and chill for a bit here. But the 50-50 talk is something that we haven't heard before. 50-50 talk is pretty big. So also we had an update on the negotiations that have been happening between Trump and Iran. This is Alex Hogan again from Fox News.
Fox is told that a call took place today at 1 p.m. and that was supposed to include leaders from Saudi, Qatar, the UAE, Egypt, Turkey, and Pakistan. President Trump said that he would meet with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and that Vice President J.D. Vance was also expected to join that call. The Iranians today say that they're working on this 14-clause memorandum of understanding, and under that proposal that they would reportedly agree to end the war and commit to 30 days of more negotiations. Iran claims that the deal does not include Washington's nuclear capabilities. However, of course, that is going to be one of the hard lines for the administration, something they have repeatedly argued is a non-negotiable.
All right, special coverage continues. It's a Saturday night special on WBAP and KLIF. Coming up next, we'll talk with retired Brigadier General from the Air Force, Blaine Holt, and we'll get a security analyst eyeballs on this shooting at the White House, along with the imminent deal of the Iran war. We have both of those dueling topics. As we continue for the next hour, we'll do a little bit more special coverage from 8 until 9. So keep it right here. I'm James Parker. You're listening to News Talk 820, WBAP 93.3 FM WBAP, Halton City, Fort Worth, Dallas, KPLX FM HD2 Fort Worth, 570 KLIF Dallas, Fort Worth, KSCS 96.3 FM HD2 Fort Worth, Dallas.
Avoid the.
Okay. And as soon as we get to top of the hour, I'll do 2 minutes of Fox News and then the weather report, and then we'll come back again at 06.
Okay.
So you've got like a 9-minute break.
Should hit that long legal at the end there. That was fine, right?
Yeah, that's fine. For the next hour, I'll hit the legal ID, so you won't have to do the whole one.
Okay. All right. What do I got? Like 5 minutes here?
You've got 8 minutes.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, you can send the news back down the line or whatever. Hey there. Yeah. Not hearing anything coming back down the line.
Your home, call Dan Harker
There you
and
go.
Power Home Team today at 844-672-SOLD. That's 844-672-SOLD, or visit harkerhasthebuyers.com. That's harkerhasthebuyers.com.
Are you a man suffering from a loss of sex drive and symptoms of depression? You may be experiencing male andropause, a condition that affects men often 10 years before women. But don't worry, there's a solution right here in DFW. Welcome to Men's Edge Medical, the pioneers in changing men's lives for almost 20 years. They understand your needs are unique, and that's why they offer real results tailored to fit your specific needs. Medications you take for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or diabetes can worsen the symptoms of male andropause. At Men's Edge Medical, they see patients every day struggling with these symptoms. They also treat patients who have unsuccessfully tried shockwave treatment or have experienced side effects from popular ED medications. If you don't see results after your first visit, your visit is absolutely free. Whether you're dealing with ED or premature stamina, Men's Edge Medical is here to help you regain your confidence and vitality. Call Men's Edge Medical today, 972-996-0900, 972-996-0900, or go to mensedgemedical.com.
There is an urgent need for all blood types, especially types O positive, O negative, and B negative. Donate blood with Carter Blood Care and
Sorry about that, James.
CC8.
Oh, also, retired Brigadier General Blaine Holt is ready to go whenever you are.
Of fully vetted contractors, now all backed by a $25,000 guarantee.
If the job's not right, we'll get it fixed. Only at the Good Contractors List.
Hi, it's Brad Barton. Well, summer's almost here with pool parties and beach vacations and May graduations and June weddings. For the confident to look your very best, come to Red Mountain Weight Loss. At Red Mountain, you'll find the latest programs and medications to help you lose weight. From GLP-1 meds to RM3, their signature medication and the fastest way to lose weight. Programs start as low as $149, and you could lose up to 20 pounds by this time next month. Lose weight and look great just in time for summer at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just go to redmountainweightloss.com.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
And we're hot.
Hey, welcome to special coverage on a Saturday night. I'm James Parker, News Talk 820, 93.3 FM, WBAP. We are also on our sister station, 570 KLIF. Hello over there as well. If you're not familiar with me, I'm on WBAP weekday afternoons 2 to 5. You should check me out then if you're not at work. But quick summary here. The number one most the impending story was shots fired near the White House today at about 5 p.m. Texas time. There was gunfire reported near the White House, and it was at the corner of 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue. So that's the northwest corner of the White House grounds. And if you include the Eisenhower office building and the other office building on the other side, that's the rectangle. That's the property that the White House is on. I heard he didn't actually make it onto the White House grounds. He was neutralized by Secret Service after firing 3 shots. The reports say that he was armed with a pistol. He got 3 shots off. Secret Service responded. We know the suspect is male. We know he's dead. We also have reports of a bystander, a civilian struck. We don't know if that's from the gunman or from the Secret Service responding to it. And that's where we're at with this situation. The White House was on lockdown for a little bit. It is no longer on lockdown, which brings us to our next big story. We are awaiting some word on an Iran deal. Donald Trump's working on something important. This isn't just a normal thing that he's been saying for the last couple of weeks or last couple of months, really, that, hey, this thing's about to end soon. He canceled his appearance at his own son's wedding. He canceled a golf trip. There were shots fired at the White House. He's back at work. He's working on something. And we think this may be he's about to announce a deal on the Iran war. So now that we're all reset, my next guest, retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Blaine Holt, coming back on the James Show. Thank you very much for coming on a Memorial Day weekend. Let's talk about the threat to Donald Trump at the White House today. Do you have any spidey sense that is telling you what this could be? Is this a terror attack from Muslims? Is this the politically motivated violence from the left? Is this just some crazy psychopath who was on a rampage. Do you have any inkling, Blaine?
Hey, James, there's your spectrum right there. We're talking an abject, complete psychopath who had an agenda, to all the way up to this is a puzzle piece that fits into something that's linked to Iran and geopolitics. We're just going to need an investigation. Probably we'll learn a lot more at about the 24 to 30 hour point, I would imagine. We'll learn more tomorrow. And then after about a week or so, we're going to learn even more. I think what has all our attention is, how does a gun get that close, even to the old executive building or that area? I mean, you know, I carry a weapon with me most of the time. I can tell you personally, I would never be stupid enough to carry a weapon in the vicinity of the White House. And so, because my assumption would be we've got technology to cover down on that detection. So the point is we've got to look at this and find out, are there resources that the U.S. Secret Service just doesn't have that now need to be examined? And are there gaps, especially in this politically charged year, like you're talking about, war with Iran, war in Europe? We've got to do a better job of protecting the principal. I think this is assassination. Either you could call it an attempt or an inclination number 6 or 7 since he took office in 2016.
Well, look, if I'm a glass half full guy, I would say this is evidence that our security apparatus is working.
Well, it stopped. There was nothing bad here. Again, I'm not prejudging this particular incident. I have been critical of other Secret Service incidents, but I think what we have to do is walk through this, and then we have to have the discussion about, all right, how do we know when there's somebody in the vicinity of the White House that we need to get eyes on earlier? I'm just going to tell you, as a security professional and a military officer, that's too close.
I can hear you on that one. I just look. You've done this before. You have some sort of security background. I've just talked on the radio for the last 25 years. You're concerned that they got this close, because from what I understand, he didn't even set a foot on grass. Like he got to the perimeter and that was it. I mean, that's too close for comfort.
Yeah, I had a Secret Service guy, a retired one, tell me today that it was a little closer to the gate. And again, if it was the gate area, right up to the gate with a weapon, then we need to examine that. We need to go. You know, to your point, it could well be that because we're not in D.C., they are in D.C., and it could well be, after looking at all the video cams and all of the hot washes and all of the investigations that are done, it could well be that everything worked exactly the way it's supposed to work. Unfortunately, a civilian may have lost their life out of this, but maybe it worked fine. I know there's been so many attempts now on President Trump. I think that the entire security apparatus needs to be head on a swivel, especially when you think of how many enemies the man has accrued, both foreign and domestic, over these years.
Well, I mean, what do we know about the security around the White House? Because I remember the first time I went, we're talking, this might have been 2006, 2007. So it was after 9/11. But I remember going to some event at George Washington University, which is like a block from where this happened tonight, and thinking, man, I can see the White House from here, and I can't see, like, if I just went on a beeline sprinting, like, who would stop me? And I know it's not that easy. I know there must be like ninjas or something I can't see, but from the outside, you know, without like a visible security presence, that I can see how that would be tempting to crazy people.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. But there are countermeasures so that, let's say, our psychopath started today at George Washington University. That's where I got my master's. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, really? So you were right there on the west side of the White House.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And so if somebody wanted to sprint and make a beeline for the White House, they should be picked up, noticed by several different types of plainclothes officers, DC, Capitol Police, uniformed Secret Service, and talking on the radios immediately. They are always at their just baseline. They're always looking around the crowds. What my question is what type of technology do you have that's backing you up?
Well, I figure at some point they'd be like, release the hounds, like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons or something. But I know nothing about security. That's why we have good guests on. How do we find your work online, Darren Gobb?
Well, I'm not Darren Gupp. I'm Blaine Holt, but you can find me at dangerousintellectuals.com for my podcast. And this week I'm on realnewstalk.com, guest hosting a radio show for 3 hours every day from 9 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. And so come join me.
No way.
Listening to James.
Blaine Holt, what are you broadcasting on?
So it's a station out of Delaware, the Delaware, Virginia market called WGMD, but it's nationally streamed at realnewstalk.com. And this is my first time guest hosting. I got a week under my belt and I've got 10 more days to go. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
How you liking it? What do you do? Are you doing 2 hours, 3 hours a day? What are you doing?
3 hours a day. And I can tell you, I've got a newfound respect for the work that you do and have been doing behind the microphone all these years, because it is a lot of work.
Well, from what I hear, like the first day or two is really hard. And then after that, you just sort of figure out like, well, I just got to talk for 3 hours and that's that. So, all right. I always like watching people go through that process. Blaine Holt, thank you very much again, sir.
Thank you.
And sorry for getting your name wrong. I'm just reading the wrong notes. All right. Coming up next, we're going to analyze the narrative here that we were all expecting an Iran deal to come this weekend. I mean, it still might happen. Donald Trump's clearly working on something important, but I'll show you all the data points on how we got here next. This is special coverage of the White House shooting and the impending Iran deal and the war with Iran on News Talk 820, 93.3 FM WBAP and 570 AM, 96.3 HDFM 2. Am I saying that correctly? KLIF.
Times U.S.
Clear.
Iran retains substantial missile capabilities. The Washington Post, U.S. intel says Iran can outlast Trump's Hormuz blockade for months. And then NBC writes, Iran is accelerating efforts to dig out missiles and munitions.
Keep connected, DFW.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 9.
And then when we come back in 3 minutes, James,
you
can go out by 28:30.
Just plus 3 years.
Yeah, I don't have like a station clock in front of me, so it'll be off a little bit.
Warranty.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll tell you when.
At 3 years of compliment.
I'll just be like, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Gotta go.
100,000 mile warranty.
That works.
Like I said, you get a lot more and you won't pay a dime for it. Come see us at 183 and 820 or shop online at freemantoyota.com.
Hi, it's Brad Barton. Well, summer's almost here with pool parties and beach vacations and May graduations and June weddings. For the confident to look your very best, come to Red Mountain Weight Loss.
Right.
At Red Mountain, you'll find the latest programs and medications to help you lose weight. From GLP-1 meds to RM3, their signature medication and the fastest way to lose weight. Programs start as low as $149, and you could lose up to 20 pounds by this time next month. Lose weight and look great just in time for summer at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just go to redmountainweightloss.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Kroger. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Kroger stores in Dallas.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now, new users can get an extra $10 bonus on their first Kroger trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Kroger store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Kroger stores in the Dallas area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code DFW4 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Kroger. That's promo code DFW4 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code DFW4.
Offers vary by user and location. $10 bonus offer for new users only. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate has always made selling your home easy, and we've updated our program to keep the most money in your pocket. First, we give you a guaranteed cash offer on your home, and you receive the cash up front immediately. We then set your list price, we put it on the market, and if we sell it for more than we gave you up front, we'll give you the difference back in cash. It's absolutely no risk to you, only upside. Why would you do business with anybody else? It's the absolute best way to sell your home in today's market.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth, and St. Louis.
It's a news and information weekend on News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
All right, and here we go.
Online reports have identified the White House shooter. I'm James Parker. This is the Sort of James Show as we're doing a Saturday night special coverage from the WBAP newsroom. A couple of giant headlines staring at you. Number one is we were expecting a deal with the Iran war negotiations to be announced tonight, tomorrow. It's something we were kind of expecting over the weekend, maybe on Monday, on Memorial Day. But Donald Trump's obviously working on something important. He canceled his expected visit to his own son's wedding. There was also a golf trip he canceled. Then there was a shooting near the White House grounds where there was a lockdown. And as soon as that was lifted, he went back to work. So he's working on something important. But let's get back to that shooting. We had a shooting about 5 o'clock Texas time. And we finally have some reports. Again, this is preliminary. This hasn't been confirmed by the big networks, but a lot of online accounts who have a tendency to be right about such things, so take it with a grain of salt, say it's a 21-year-old from Maryland named Nasir Best. Nasir, it might be Nasire, Nasire. And that's his first name, Nasir Best, 21 years old from Maryland. Not that it helps or hurts or affects anything, but just to fill out your racial bingo card, he's black. But also he has a history of mental illness, according to preliminary reports, obviously. And today he was doing what he did, somehow incorporating the belief that he thought he was Jesus. So just a crazy person. So if it is this, just a crazy person, there is a little bit of solace to be had in the fact that, all right, well, crazy people are always going to be among us. And even if you do everything right, there's still going to be psychopaths who think they're Jesus, and accidents are going to happen. But why did this many accidents happen for the last guy? Some of them did. I remember when Biden was in office, there was a guy who tried to run into his car into the White House, hit one of those concrete ballards, and Secret Service had to take him down. And it was just some lunatic who was hallucinating and living not in the real world. So a lot of times you rush to try and say, well, look, this is someone who's been incensed by media narrative, or this is someone who's been activated by the racist rhetoric of Donald Trump. I don't know. This might just be another crazy person. And I know that doesn't make us feel a whole lot better, but you have those from time to time, just absolutely crazy people. And we would like to be able to put them in a box. That way we can do something about it and be completely safe, but we're never going to be completely safe. Now let's talk about why we think this Iran deal is going down right now. And, I was giving you sort of the circumstantial evidence around it, and the fact that Donald Trump canceled his visit to his own son's wedding and the golf trip, and then after the shooting. Well, let's get back to this. Fox News was talking about this earlier today about how Trump sounds like for real this time. I know you've heard it before, but for real this time, it sounds like we're really close to a deal to end the Iran war.
During an appearance in New York yesterday, the president once again said the Iran conflict will end soon. Today, he reportedly told Axios, if Iran doesn't offer a good deal, he'll, quote, blow them to kingdom come. Meanwhile, Fox News is learning President Trump held a key phone call today with regional leaders on the months-long war. One diplomat calling that call very positive.
What does that mean, regional leaders? Are you like the Pakis and the United Arab Emirates? Were the Kuwaitis on the line? And were you talking to Aladdin from the genie story or whatever? I don't know. Marco Rubio, I think you'd be interested in this clip. He said this from New Delhi, I guess technically today, but I think on the timeline, this happened right before you and I woke up because they're like 13 hours ahead of us in New Delhi, India, where he's at.
The question is about the Iranian issue. And as I said, there's been some progress done, some progress made. Even as I speak to you now, there's some work being done. There is a chance that whether it's later today, tomorrow, in a couple days, we may have something to say.
All right, so that's just added to the narrative. Also, when he went to New Delhi, he was like, hey, this reminds me of Frisco, huh? Just kidding. Just kidding. Calm down. So let's go through Alex Hogan's report on the Trump-Iran deal. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard something tomorrow. And this reporting makes this not sound like the false start that we've had before. Alex Hogan on Fox News earlier today.
President Trump, as you mentioned, telling Axios that he would hold a meeting with negotiators today to go over this latest deal with Iran. And one regional diplomat telling Fox News' Trey Yingst in the Middle East, quote, regional leaders were supportive of the progress and of the breakthroughs that President Trump achieved in these talks. We also heard the president say that it was 50-50 whether or not there would be a deal reached and that a decision would be made by tomorrow as of whether or not strikes would resume in Iran.
So, yeah, you have that. You have the actual talk from, regional leaders have reported back through sources and whatnot. But, I think the wedding thing is the big telltale that makes this not like the other false starts that we've had on the Iran war peace deal.
Meantime, with all of this taking place, the president was supposed to travel to his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Those plans changed yesterday. The president's son is also holding wedding celebrations in the Bahamas today. The president, of course, not able to attend, given that he's holding these meetings today. He did congratulate him, but said because of all of these conflicts, especially citing the war in Iran, that he would not be able to attend.
The special report that we started with a couple of hours ago already sounds a whole lot better. The Iran war, of course, has that rain cloud that follows you around, like the Ziggy calendar that your grandma had with the rain cloud that just followed him around. That's kind of what the Iran war has been like for the last 2.5 months. And if that gets dissipated this weekend, along with another threat on Donald Trump's life, but it's almost best case scenario that it's just some lone wolf crazy person and not another assassination attempt or not another Antifa guy or not another Trantifa guy or not another angry Muslim about Iran. These are almost best case scenarios to where we started with some ugly reporting, but both of these, are kind of landing sunny side up. Coming up next, Raven Harrison, a firebrand political commentator, is going to be next on the Sort of James show. I'm James Parker. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with 570 and 96.3 FM KLIF.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Are you ready for more? Hello, it's Dane Miner, General Manager of Freeman Toyota. And when you shop with Freeman Toyota, you get 3 years of complimentary oil changes, plus 3 years of complimentary tire rotations, plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty with every new Freeman Toyota. 3 years of complimentary oil changes, plus tire rotations, plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Like I said, you get a lot more, and you won't pay a dime for it. Come see us at 183 and 820 or shop online at freemantoyota.com.
Best Buy windows and siding.
Thanks, Dax. Maybe leave the singing to the pros.
Hey, I can't help it. I love these windows.
Well, it's easy to sing about savings. Get 10 double-pane single-hung windows for just $59.50.
And 0 down and 0% financing with approved credit.
Exactly.
So call Best Buy Windows and Siding today at 469 Windows. That's Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Close enough, buddy.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Dallas at 214-592-1127, 214-592-1127. That's 214-592-1127. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdallas.com.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth, and
James Raven Harrison is ready when we come back.
Financial Services, Sundays at
Why,
11
thank
a.m.
you,
and
sir.
4 p.m. here on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Your host, Kathy DeWitt Dunn, has the most up-to-date info you need for your financial success.
Avoid the headaches of a traditional home sale and move on your timeline with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. No showings, no open houses, just a simple, stress-free way to sell your home. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now, new on FM at 93.3.
Fox News, I'm Angelo Bavaro. The White House lockdown has been lifted after a gunman opened fire towards that building. Secret Service shot that suspect, who died after being taken to the hospital.
I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots that they got off, and they apparently took the gunman down.
Fox's Chad Pergram. President Trump says a peace agreement with Iran has been, quote, largely negotiated.
Fox is told that a call took place today at 1 p.m. and that was supposed to include leaders from Saudi, Qatar, the UAE, Egypt, Turkey, and Pakistan. President Trump said that he would meet with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner.
Fox's Alex Hogan. America is listening to Fox News.
For WBAP, I'm WFAA meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Could see a shower or thunderstorm tonight. The chance remains very low with a 67-degree low. 83 on Sunday with a pop-up shower or storm possible. Most will be dry. Most will also be dry on Memorial Day with a slight chance for a shower or storm with a high of 84.
Remember today, you listened to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
And we are back.
Welcome to special coverage on a Saturday night. I'm James Parker, News Talk 820, 93.3 FM, WBAP, 570 AM, 96.3 HD2, KLIF. You can catch me normally during the week on WBAP weekday afternoons from 2 to 5. But we have 2 big stories. Number one, we were awaiting the report of an Iran deal being signed. There have been even more optimistic chatter than usual around that. And Donald Trump's working on something this weekend. So we were kind of expecting that. And then while we're all just sitting here, keeping our eye on DC, shots fired at near the White House about 5 o'clock Texas time. To help me break it down, Raven Harrison's coming back on. First off, happy Memorial Day weekend. Sorry to butt into your holiday weekend. I appreciate you giving us your time. But what do you think is going on here? We have the only information we have on this guy is he's 21 years old. His name is Nasir Best, I suppose. He's from Maryland. It's a black fella, if that means anything to you. And is this just another crazy person, Raven?
No, this seems and good to talk to you too, James. You guys are the only ones I do this for. But this is in the vein of how Democrats have been doing it. This is the propaganda they have been putting out. They have been putting out these kind of threats, and this will be what, if you consider it credible, the third or fourth attempt on President Trump's life since he's been in office. And ironically, we had no shots fired at the White House from 2021 to 2024. So it's just interesting that this is where it's coming. But that's what I make of it, is that this is a product of the Democrats and politicians who keep calling and ramping up this kind of rhetoric and violence against conservatives.
Raven, I don't want to play bad guy here, but I remember after the White House Correspondents' Center when we were making the case that the level of violence against Donald Trump is a problem, the both sides crowd was saying there was 11 attempts on Joe Biden's life when he was president. So the both sides crowd was pointing at 11 different attempts on Biden's life, and I think that's what they would say to your last statement.
And that's what they would say, but they have no proof to it. So what we're actually looking at is, we know that no shots were fired. We don't have any assassination attempts that were recorded, or at least putting out, that were credible. So what I would tell them is, again, this is a foreseeable when somebody sees an organic shell formation on the beach that says 8647, and things like this other garbage we're hearing is they have to stop taking the rhetoric. They have to take the rhetoric down, or this is going to continue to happen. And until people start going to jail for putting out this kind of violence, and it's reckless to be doing this. So I think what you're making of it is, this goes on the heels of President Trump going back, missing his son's wedding, to go back to the White House and calling back his intel team. We knew something was going to be happening. So this seems like a progression.
Well, what do you think was supposed to happen? We were kind of expecting an Iran war announcement. Is that what's on, your radar?
That's what everybody was reporting and expecting. I have two parents who were in intelligence, international intelligence, and I'm telling you, it's not always what it seems. And what I think it's worth noting is that their supreme leader was killed in an airstrike shortly before. So it's interesting that this announcement of peace comes right on the heels of that. This is the way the game is played. This is what we need people to understand, is that there are people out there who just don't want to get along, who are not here to be our friends, who are not here to sing kumbaya with us. And we have to treat these threats accordingly. And we're not going to do that by giving them everything they want.
I think you just broke some news to me. There was a high profile death from an airstrike recently.
From a supreme leader, correct. The supreme leader. So again, that the information that I have is that occurred around 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Today.
I
haven't seen that anywhere. Okay.
You gotta, but my phone has been lighting up for the last several hours. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Well, Raven, maybe you just know more than me. My parents worked at the post office, so I don't have any connections to anything whatsoever. So that'd be news. I mean, Fox News doesn't have it on the top of their screen, so that'd be cool if you just broke it on my show.
Well, I'll send you the link as soon as we hang up. I don't want to do two things at once here.
Sure.
But that's what we've been following. And, I have two parents who retired out of the Pentagon, so my feeds are a lot different.
I guess so. Okay, so we're talking with Raven Harrison. She is a political pundit. Are you running for office right now?
I am running for office.
Did you already get through like the primary stuff? Are you the candidate for November, or what's your situation?
We have the primary is August 18th, and I am still the candidate. Yes.
Yeah, Florida, right?
The swamp is deep and wide, so I just let people know that it's going to take all of us to get it done, but we're looking really good.
All right, Raven Harrison, you know what I think in retrospect is I'm shocked at how little we know about the guys who've tried the first 3 assassination attempts. And 2 of them are still alive, so there's no excuse to not, put a microphone in front of them or talk about them. But I mean, for the guy who actually shot Donald Trump in the ear. There seems to be no intellectual curiosity, no journalistic curiosity about getting to the bottom of that mystery. I mean, how little do we know about, what was his name? Matthew Crooks?
Well, yes. And what's interesting is most of what we have came organically. A lot of people were filming. A lot of people were asking questions. We've seen those reports about when Secret Service was notified about how this kid was able to get up onto the roof in line of sight of the President of the United States. Several people saw it on their cell phones. So we have a lot of intelligence and security breakdowns. What is really frustrating is all we've heard is investigation. I think we heard Mike Johnson say that he was going to launch an investigation into this shooter in particular in Butler and what we were going to find out. And this is the way that always happens of the, I will say, I don't want to say the deep state, I'll say the establishment is just, it is ready, set, wait. It is ready, set, nothing. It is ready, set, let's talk about it until somebody passes out. And that's what we have to get past. It's one of the reasons I'm running for office, because nothing will be different unless we start sending different people there.
Well, judging by from what I've seen, because I've been to the White House grounds before, where this guy reportedly got shot, you could hit the Oval Office with a rock. So that's pretty close, Raven.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what they're officially reporting is that he did not breach the perimeter. And what people don't realize is there are several layers of protection around the White House. Some you can see and some you cannot. So I take that as a good sign that they're saying that he did not breach the perimeter. I was watching a feed from someone who was giving a live report when she started ducking when she heard the gunshot. So I feel like, again, we still have a lot to go with protecting President Trump, and thank God that he's safe. But I have to honestly say, I think that what we have in place did its job, because if it didn't breach the perimeter, I'd be much more concerned about the crack we found in the Situation Room inside, the White House, and I would be somebody out at the perimeter.
So the report that Raven Harrison just referenced was from Selena Wang from ABC News. Let's play that real quick.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No. I tried to count how many gunshots were there, and it feels like I'm trying to count like the last 10 seconds of your microwave popcorn bag, because I just think it's done and it keeps going. But the entire event really only lasts 15 seconds, Raven.
Yes. They're typically they're very quick. But, the real tell, James, will be how much information. This should be everywhere. This should be everyone reporting. And I honestly find the irony that had this not happened on live TV for ABC, that you probably wouldn't have reported it at all.
Man, isn't that the truth? Now, but they can't report it because it would make Donald Trump a sympathetic figure. It would make Team Blue have to, be a little introspective and, maybe try and examine their own inadequacies. Like, man, this keeps happening. Are we sure we're the good guys? All right. Thank you very much, Raven.
My father always says, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
Right on. Okay, Raven Harrison, how do we find your good work online?
RavenHarrisonForCongress.com.
Are you going to be on a boat at any point in this Memorial Day weekend?
It's very possible.
Yeah. Round of applause for boats as well. Thank you very much, Raven Harrison.
Thanks, James.
All right. Coming up next, we'll continue special coverage on a Saturday night. The top two headlines: shots fired at the White House about 5:00 Texas time. Also, an Iran war deal is expected any moment now. I'll give you the latest on both coming up on News Talk 820, 93.3 FM WBAP, and 570 and 96.3 FM HD2 KLIF.
Some rest in foreign lands, some in hometown cemeteries,
And some in location
clear
only to God.
I'm a soldier, it's my duty. The brave men and women of our armed forces who made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of freedom and our nation.
Taking time to reflect that we have liberties and freedoms because of those people in their service.
This Memorial Day weekend.
My hope and prayer is that the sacrifices borne by so many will spawn and fulfill the promise of our nation.
Take a moment to remember.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
and now on FM at 93.3.
Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Thanks, Dax. Maybe leave the singing to the pros.
Hey, I can't help it. I love these windows.
Well, it's easy to sing about savings. Get 10 double-pane single-hung windows for just $59.50.
And 0 down and 0% financing with approved credit.
Exactly.
So call Best Buy Windows and Siding today at 469 Windows. That's Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Close enough, buddy.
Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Spring puts all of us into a project mode, yard work, house projects, getting everything ready. And that usually means one thing: more time on your feet. Hal J here for the Good Feet store. I love these guys, and I know firsthand how foot pain can slow you down. Being personally fit for the Good Feet arch support system made it easier for me to stay on my feet longer and get more done without that constant achy, tired feeling. Plus, properly supporting your feet doesn't just matter at your feet. It can also help reduce strain on your knees, hips, and back, because when your foundation is supported, your whole body benefits. So, if you've got a list of projects this spring, don't let foot pain be the thing holding you back. Visit the Good Feet store here in DFW with 8 locations, including a brand new one, Waxahachie. You have a Good Feet store now. Be ready for whatever spring throws your way and step into the comfort with the Good Feet store. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Kroger. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Kroger stores in Dallas.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now, new users can get an extra $10 bonus on their first Kroger trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Kroger store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Kroger stores in the Dallas area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code DFW4 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Kroger. That's promo code DFW4 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code DFW4.
Offers vary by user and location. $10 bonus offer for new users only. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 90.
And we're back.
Well, we're expecting an announcement that the 84-day war with Iran could be over. While we're expecting that, there were shots fired at the White House. Now, about 3.5 hours ago, I'm James Parker from The James Show with special coverage on News Talk 820, 93.3 FM, WBAP, 570 AM, 96.3 HD2 on KLIF. So let's recap both of those. First off, the more impending story here was the shots fired near the White House. The reports are on the northwest corner of the White House at the intersection of 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue. Not the cool part of Pennsylvania Avenue that goes from the White House to Congress, but if you continue that hypotenuse up through the northwest corner of the White House rectangle, that property, that's where this happened. They call it Gate 17. It's near the Eisenhower office. The only reason I know that is because that's where all the press people go, and I know press people. It's reported that he was armed with just a pistol. He got 3 shots off. Secret Service responded. He was reported down at first, and then after an hour, he was reported as dead by the Secret Service. We also have a civilian that was struck. They are painting this as an innocent bystander. We don't know if it was from the bullets that came from the gun of the shooter or the Secret Service that were responding. We don't know his condition. We don't even know if it's a him or a her on the civilian situation now. So that kind of summarizes that. As far as the Iran war goes, now this is something that is not resolved. The shooting is resolved. That dude is dead. There's no one else coming. There was a lockdown. The lockdown got lifted about an hour and a half ago. So we're past that. Now the impending piece of history that we're still staring at is this Iran war situation. Now, we have been forced to gather weird data points to try and put together why this claim that the Iran war is close to being over is different than the other times that he said that. And one of the reasons is just the scheduling situation that's going on right now. It's Memorial Day weekend. There's a lot of people that are on vacation, headed to the lake, visiting family, doing something. Well, what a great time to get married, wouldn't you say? Heck yeah. People are already traveling and having some time off during that anyway. And so Donald Jr. getting married this weekend. Donald Jr., of course, you would expect dad's going to be there. But Donald Trump Jr. is going to be getting married. And it's not his first wedding, but hey, it's still kind of a big deal, don't you think? But he's having a small ceremony it's a private ceremony on a small island in the Bahamas. Now, I guess they could have gone with a more lavish wedding. They probably would have gotten criticized for it because, the whole Iran war thing. But it's some lady that you don't even recognize, Bettina Anderson. So this is going to be a small private affair that we were expecting Donald Trump to go to, and he canceled that. There was another event that was put on his schedule after he canceled that was a golf outing. And when I say a golf outing, it's in New Jersey. I think it's even one of his courses, but he canceled that as well. Plus, we've gotten some positive sound bites from Marco Rubio and Donald Trump on this situation. There have been other sources that have reported regional leaders have confirmed that talks are progressing and still progress is being made. So let's put together all these data points. Alex Hogan on Fox News this morning. Let's get her set up first before we get her details.
During an appearance in New York yesterday, the president once again said the Iran conflict will end soon. Today, he reportedly told Axios, if Iran doesn't offer a good deal, he'll, quote, blow them to kingdom come. Meanwhile, Fox News is learning President Trump held a key phone call today with regional leaders on the months-long war. One diplomat calling that call very positive.
And yes, if you're a news anchor, it is fun to say that. Blow them to kingdom come. As she stepped up her news anchor voice on that. Anyway, here's Alex Hogan's reporting on Fox News this morning, which if you're skeptical because you've heard this before, the Iran war is about to be over. It should be over pretty soon. Does this assuage your skepticism?
President Trump, as you mentioned, telling Axios that he would hold a meeting with negotiators today to go over this latest deal with Iran. And one regional diplomat telling Fox News' Trey Yingst in the Middle East, quote, regional leaders were supportive of the progress and of the breakthroughs that President Trump achieved in these talks. We also heard the president say that it was 50-50 whether or not there would be a deal reached and that a decision would be made by tomorrow as of whether or not strikes would resume in Iran.
And I skip forward a little bit in Alex Hogan's report. This is the other part I thought you would find optimistic about the end of the Iran war.
Fox is told that a call took place today at 1 p.m. and that was supposed to include leaders from Saudi, Qatar, the UAE, Egypt, Turkey, and Pakistan. President Trump said that he would meet with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and that Vice President J.D. Vance was also expected to join that call. The Iranians today say that they're working on this 14-clause memorandum of understanding, and under that proposal that they would reportedly agree to end the war and commit to 30 days of more negotiations. Iran claims that the deal does not include Washington's nuclear capabilities. However, of course, that is going to be one of the hard lines for the administration, something they have repeatedly argued is a non-negotiable.
Well, when they have a number like that let you know someone's putting pen to paper. Hey, we've got 14 points. This is all coming down to the uranium. We know what's going to happen with the Straits of Hormuz. Straits of Hormuz are going to be open. Iran wants that. We want that. Everybody wants that. It really just comes down to the uranium, doesn't it? And the other sneaky soundbite here comes from New Delhi. Marco Rubio, who has 18 jobs, was in India. And technically, I think it's today, as in Saturday, but this happened like 20 hours ago. So I think we were still asleep when this happened.
The question is about the Iranian issue. And as I said, there's been some progress done, some progress made. Even as I speak to you now, there's some work being done. There is a chance that whether it's later today, tomorrow, in a couple of days, we may have something to say.
But this is something that might pop up on Monday's show when I come back. If you're not familiar with me, James Parker, I do the weekday shift from 2 to 5 in the afternoon. I realize a whole lot of people listening right now are working then. I understand. I'm working at that hour too. But if you don't normally get to hear me, check out the James Show podcast. Now, if you've never heard me and you want to go learn a little bit more about the show, or you like what you hear, if you go listen to the podcast, cool. But on a daily basis, I get done with the show, and generally speaking, unless I have something immediate to do, I put up the podcast. And even if you're not available to listen on a daily basis from 2 to 5, you can just time shift the whole thing. And here's the dirty little secret about the podcast. I go through and I scrape out all the weather reports, the news reports, the traffic reports, the sports reports, and the commercials. So you get 3 hours worth of a radio show in about an hour and a half if you listen to them all back to back. So it's an incredibly efficient way to listen to it. Now, it's not going to be the breaking news that's happening right this second. It'll be some dated news, and that's sort of your trade-off. But if you like what you hear today and you can't normally listen from 2 to 5, check out the James Show podcast. Plus, I have a lot of great videos that are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I do all the things, Twitter, X. Find me at James Parker Show. Need all the new followers I can get. So that'll wrap it up today. It was concerning when we started the special broadcast for your Saturday night here on the Memorial Day weekend because, we don't know what's going on with the Iran war, and there were shots fired, or we didn't know the condition of the shooter or anything like that, but a lot of it's already been resolved. Shooter's dead. Let's not worry about that. Iran war looks like it's chugging along toward a peace settlement. Hopefully you're going to go out and have a good rest of your Memorial Day weekend. You're going to be safe. You're going to have some fun. You're going to have some adult beverages. There may be a boat involved, and I'll be able to give you the good news about some Iran war peace deal when you come back to business with WBAP on Monday or Tuesday, because I'll be doing a live show Monday as well. All right, that's going to do it for special coverage. I'm James Parker. This has been a special report on 820 AM, 93.3 FM WBAP, 570 AM and 96.3 FM HD2 KLIF.
Fired toward the White House. All right, James, that was good.